Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive in on all down direction with your pick. It's a right hand technique that most of you have probably heard somebody do it, if not Bill Monroe, who would be the original bluegrass mandolin player, and use this technique to add authority to his playing and just to get volume and punch and all those things that we need at times in our solos. This is something that a few people had emailed about after I did the Doral Lawson lick from one of the Bluegrass album band records where this technique was used, and to maybe where that was more of a breakdown of that lick. Today's going to be more about just looking at what happens with our right hand and how we can kind of include this in our playing. Before we move on, I'm going to invite everybody to subscribe to the channel and let you know that if you're interested in Skype sessions, you'll find a good email on me in the description of each video, as well as information for a tip jar that I have set up through PayPal if you choose to support the channel that way. So at this point, I'm going to edit in a clip. This is 3TO doing a tune called You Took My Sunshine. I'm going to let Justin's fiddle break play right in front of the mandolin break to kind of set things up so that you get the whole, kind of spirit of the song and what's happening with it. So here we go with You Took My Sunshine. All right, so this tune is at a tempo that really does lend itself to this particular right hand thing that we're looking at today. And as you watch that solo, you can see there are tremolo lines that are being played, as well as those triplet things that I definitely stole from Bill Monroe. But at its core, a lot of that solo is all down direction with your right hand. And if you're familiar with the channel, you can see that that was my previous pick hold. That was before I switched over. That's when I was still using 2 fingers under the bottom of the pick, and it looks really awkward if you watch my right hand in that video. But here are some things that I have done that helped with this before you jump right in and start trying to play phrases built on that. And maybe you can. It just depends on how well your coordination has developed and what season of your mandolin playing that you're in right now. But if you're not quite ready for that, or if you try to play those phrases in a solo and it's a struggle to you, here's a simple exercise that helped me. I'm going to demonstrate this in G, since the tune that we're using in this video was out of the key of G. But if I were to play the major scale here, I'm just starting on the 5th fret of the D string at that G note and playing this ever familiar scale shape. And you can see that I played all down. And you could do that here. You could just play the scale and play all down with your right hand. But something that really helped me was to play a drone note. And what's happening there is I have to cross pick or cross over that D string. You could arguably say that that's harder to play than when we're just going from right across the strings. There I'm using blues language. I have some videos up about closed position blues scales that you could maybe incorporate with this same time that you're spending on the mandolin working on this to play some of those lines in first position. The triplets, here are the things to look out for, because we're going to tend to want to probably apply a lot of down pressure with your thumb that might not be needed. If you're trying to, I like to play a little closer to the bridge on lines like this to get a punchier tone. And I'm pretty tight with my thumb there, but when I move into to play that triplet, any of those lines like that, or the tremolo, see the difference in the right hand? I moved way up here. And then when I go back to the down beats, or to the down direction, then I'm back here again. So there's a lot going on with the right hand as we kind of transition in and out of the all down with the pick. So this can give you a gathering of information to help with this technique. I think it's very effective. There are players out there that I've heard do this so well. Sean Lane is really great at playing all down direction like this, but still having like a modern bluegrass sound at the same time. I've heard him on some live stuff really do cool lines that were, because this is going to change the way you phrase. There's something about the limitation. For me, there's only, once it gets past a certain tempo, I'm not going to be comfortable trying to play all down. And it's almost like that limitation forces a creativity that wouldn't have happened if you weren't using this technique. So it can also be to your advantage in terms of phrasing and coming up with different ideas. But if you haven't ever used this as part of your bluegrass, approach, there's a lot of meat on the bone. I mean, we're coming straight from Bill Monroe with these ideas. Good luck.